looking at the martial arts aspect a little bit more specifically, there's this one terrific scene between the teacher and the student in the film where she's asking about the element of aggression.
Oh yeah.
And she's having some affliction about that.
Yeah.
And so
she was having some affliction with me during that scene as well. That was a really tough time for our working relationship. So that affliction you're seeing is
it's real.
It's real.
Well, it's beautiful because one of the interesting ideas that comes out of the whole scene is that where the teacher is talking about how aggression can be used to create peace, or aggression can be used to kill violence. And that the martial arts can be a vehicle of that, or a container for that. So if you can talk a little bit more about that idea, about using what maybe could be, you could say, is a tempo of passion, aka aggression, to actually create peace.
Yeah. This is a lot of the things are very subtle, and some of them I'm even a little bit afraid to talk about in our sort of current cultural climate. But we live in as far as I can tell, probably the most warlike culture that's ever existed on this planet in historical times. I mean, if you look at the amount that's spent on our quote unquote defense budget, which is clearly offensive. I mean, it's I think growing up in America, it's mind-boggling how violent our culture is, and how really we're all kind of comfortable with it. And I think people have this idea that you're aggressive or you're passive, and if you're aggressive, you're bad, which is ironic because we're pretty aggressive as a people, and we see I think we confuse passive and pacifist, which are different, right? Language is another interesting thing. But the point I make in the film, and it wasn't premeditated. I mean, that scene wasn't written. We just sat down, and I wanted to have a conversation with the character about when it's appropriate to defend yourself, and why that might be a good idea. And it just kind of came up naturally that you can, like you said, how can you use that aggressiveness, that energy, to create peace? And I think you see it. You see it with. We used to see it sort of with activists, peace activists. Martin Luther King Jr. is a great example. Obviously, so is Gandhiji. That's kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, Gandhi was pretty aggressive about peace. I mean, and I'm no expert on Gandhi and the British-Indian relationships and troubles, but I mean that's at least that's how his legacy has come down to us today.